Kind of a new angle today. Look at my hair. My curls are like falling and it's definitely something. Definitely something. We're gonna tie it back anyways in a little bit. But how are y'all doing? Hope everybody is doing well. I had some technical difficulties. If you tried to join the live before this, sorry. I've been watching a lot of streams lately, and I want to be able to stream directly from my camera. Things are just not working. As soon as I think I got it right, something happens and I end up not having it, which is very annoying. So if you joined and the stream wasn't working for you, I'm so sorry. Let me move this so that I can get to it a little bit easier. But yeah, we're just going to change my bag today, catch up, the normal sort of things, nothing too crazy. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat. When we get to a certain point in the stream, you will know I'll probably say, hey, if I have too many people in here and I can't really manage the questions, or I'm preoccupied with changing my bag, I'll probably say, hey, if you have a question and you really want it answered, super chat to me, because super chats will definitely get answered. Normal chat things, if I see something that catches my attention or I feel like is a really good question, sometimes I'll go and answer it. But the way to guarantee your question definitely get answered is to super chat me. I don't know why I feel like I'm a little bit like higher up today than I normally am. But yeah, we're just gonna roll with it. I did get some more lubricating deodorant. It comes in this box. You guys are gonna kind of see like a little bit of a supply restock. But yeah, this is the lubricating deodorant Colitis. It's 8 fluid ounces. And I needed some more. So we got that. I need to put that in the trash. I'm realizing something that I must, oh no, here it is. I grabbed the new bag. Hi, how are you guys? Thank you. It is a night outfit. But I was so hot and like exacerbated with like my technical difficulties that I low-key started sweating. So do you guys see any of that? That's what it is. We are going to prep my ostomy. Thank you so much. Make sure you are liking and subbing as you come in. The general rule of the night, and you guys can tell other people this as they come in, is that I give as much as I receive. So if you guys are dropping stuff in the chat, I see you guys are liking and sharing the live, and I also see when you guys subscribe to my channel. If I feel the love, I'm going to give the love. But if I don't, then we can sit right here and we can just do the process, and it'll be very boring. But I still get a clean bag out of the process. So I'll remind you guys as we go throughout the night, but my mod will also remind you. And she will sometimes answer questions that I get asked a lot. She knows. She knows the answers to the questions. So if she answers you, take it. Oh, thank you, Poppy. We have some interesting people joining tonight. But yeah, we're gonna prep this bag. This is my Colitis bag. I use their 2-piece click bag. And we'll just go through the process together. I also restocked on my trash bags. These come with every new box of pouches. I hit that person. That you're responding to. And I'll let you know, if you're a weirdo in my chat, you will get blocked. I don't even waste time responding to you. You will just get blocked and kicked out. It's that simple. God. know eventually I am going to, when like the chat gets big and there's a lot going on, I'm about to give my mom some help. Yeah, this is a trash bag. I do my bag changes usually in my bathroom. So I take my trash bag and I put it in the sink. And today I'm using a barrier that is not pre-cut, so I am gonna have to cut it myself, which is okay. These are the ostomy scissors. As you can see, they have a little curve on them, and they just help with cutting these little guiding circles. And Jimmy, I'll answer your question. I cut at the 1 inch mark. So I was living with my symptoms probably almost like 9 months, but to give some perspective, the pandemic happened like 3 months in, so it became really hard to like go to the hospital or get a new doctor. So if we weren't in the pandemic, I don't think it would have been that long for me personally. But yeah, we're cutting this. And again, I just like to have everything with my new pouch pre-prepped. Or do you really have to say pre is prepped? I like to have my new pouch prepped before I take off the old pouch, because I feel like in the event that my ostomy is being very active, I can just put the new bag on. And again, there is a lot of weirdos in my chat right now. I'm not going to give you attention. So you would just probably get ignored or blocked until you decide to leave. So I'm just going to let you guys know that. Okay, the new pouch is clicked, and it's called the 2-piece click pack because there is like a little click mechanism right here. So yeah, and then I put in my lubricating deodorant, and it does exactly what the name says. It's a liquid deodorant for the poo that is going to go inside of this bag as you're pooing. I have 113 people watching right now, but I only have 11 likes. I like my ratio to be a lot better than that. So as you guys come in, make sure you are liking the live. Make sure you're sharing the live so that more ostomy education can go out into the world. And if you already liked and shared, go ahead and sub to my channel so that you know when I am live again. Hey! I hope your grandpa is doing well. Thank you. Okay, so we have the lubricating deodorant, and now we are going to take this part off, which is basically like the protective covering for the sticky part that's going to stick to my skin. But we're going to put my ring on it. Thank you. And what I like to do with these is I stretch these to be a little bit smaller than the hole already cut for my stoma. Of course, thank you. This is a barrier ring. And you stick that on just over top of that, and you lightly press around so that it's stuck. This is an ostomy bag. I have Crohn's disease. It's a type of inflammatory bowel disease that impacts your GI tract. It's an autoimmune disease, therefore they don't know what causes it, and right now there is no cure. At the time of my diagnosis, there were no medications on the market that worked for me. I tried a lot. So in January of 2022, I started getting surgeries. So now I no longer have a colon. I no longer have a butthole. And I poo out of a little piece of my small intestine pulled through my abdominal wall called a stoma. And you guys will see my stoma tonight, but right now we're prepping my new bag to put on. We tuck the insides kind of around the hole, and it kind of works like plumbing putty. You kind of stuff it so that there's no leaks. Thank you, I appreciate it. Hope your dad is doing well. Typically this process is like 5 minutes. It ends up being a little bit longer because I'm on live answering questions and just trying to be informative throughout the whole process. Yes, this is where my waste goes. What causes it? They don't know. They don't know the cause of it, and right now there's no cure. There's only remission and flares. Exactly. So now my bag is prepped. We are going to get into the process of taking off this bag and putting on a new one. I have a couple of requests before we get into that process. If you're watching and you have not liked the stream, go ahead and like it. I'll redo this little process, but I tend to give as much as I get on my streams. So if I feel like you guys are sending me likes, I see you guys are subscribing to my channel, and the chat is really nice, then I sometimes will be in a very giving mood. I'll answer questions and But when my ratios are not how I like them, I don't turn off my chat. I still allow you guys to talk, converse among yourselves and my mod. But the only way to guarantee your question will get answered is if you super chat it. I answer everything, every question that is super chatted to me that is reasonable. I'm not going to answer everything. I feel like it's like rude or inappropriate. But we're talking about poop tonight. We're talking about how I poop. We're talking about changing my poop bag. So the appropriate meter kind of teeters when it comes to like average everyday people. My mod just dropped the trigger warning. If you don't want to see insides on the outside, my light just died. If you don't want to see insides on the outside, if you don't want to see stool or poop, if you don't want to see red bodily fluids, I don't really say that word a lot. I am not in any pain, but the stoma, which is a little piece of my small intestine pulled through my abdominal wall, it's basically has a bunch of tiny little vessels all over it, and as you're cleaning and kind of moving the intestine to clean it, sometimes they rupture. I don't feel it. My stoma has no nerve endings, so I am not in pain. Feel free to tell people this if they ask this question in the chat. So I think that is all the trigger warnings. Is there anything that I missed? My mod already dropped it in the chat, so feel free to swipe and see all of that. Again, keep liking the live. The reason why I turn on my, not really turn on, but the reason why I do my super chat only questions is because I generally don't feel like you guys engage as much as you should. You guys are answering me questions. You guys are asking me questions. I'm answering them. We can have a really great time. I enjoy doing this. This is why I go live. But you know, let's keep it fun for both of us. Hey. All right, y'all. So I gave you guys your warning. We're going to talk through the process, but just know sometimes I do have to look down because I don't have any control over when I poop. A lot of people don't, nobody has control over the way their stool moves through their small intestine. You only really have control over the muscles and like your rectal stump area, and that's at the bottom of your GI tract, like literally the last step before you put it in the toilet. So because I don't have any of those things, and that's not the way that I empty my stool, I don't have any control over it and I don't feel it really, unless it's something that's really undigested. So if I'm talking to you guys like I'm doing now and I have my bag off, then a lot of times I can start to poo and it gets all over me, or I moved my mat tonight, so I don't really have to worry about that. But it can get really messy is what I'm trying to say. So sometimes I will look down and I may have to say, hey, re-ask your question. If it's a super chat, typically it's still up there. But yeah, I think I covered everything. We're going to get into the process. Let me just get my wipes. And I may have to get more of those. Yeah, because I put them under. Let me get them before I even do this. So then if there is some mess, you don't have to worry about it. And I tell you guys this almost every night, but we will be setting our sub goal again soon. What happens when you guys hit the sub goal? You guys will help me name my stoma. A lot of people name their stomas. I haven't set a name for mine yet. So, I only change my bag every few days. But yeah, I don't have a name for my stoma yet because I love you guys so much and I have so much fun going live generally. I'm gonna allow you guys to do that, but I have to set the goal first. I don't know, last time I checked I was at 4K something, so we'll set it eventually. I think I gave myself 2 weeks last live. I don't remember. Thank you, Kathleen. We're prepping these too because this is what I use to clean everything. Let me just move this cord back. And yeah, this is adhesive remover spray. It literally, what it does is in the name. It loosens the adhesive around here. Why only every few days? Because you don't have to change your bag every day. It won't hurt you if you change your bag every day. But I dump my bag, which is what this part is, right? I'm not gonna open it, but this part right here allows me to dump my bag into the toilet. And I do that upwards of 4 times a day. But you don't change your bag every day. All right, I'm gonna remind you guys, when I start to take off this bag, we enter super chat, especially now because my ratio is still not good, not how I like it for it to look. So we're gonna go into super chat only mode. You guys can still talk in the chat. You guys can still answer questions in the chat because sometimes I'll see a really great question and I'll answer it. But the only way to guarantee your question gets answered is if you super chat your question. So yeah, love y'all. Let's get started. Make sure you guys are continuing to like though, because if you guys if my like to viewership ratio looks good, sometimes I'll answer a few questions and not just one that I think looks good. So yeah, let's get into it. I really need to shave the hairs on my stomach. I say that almost every week, but I truly mean it. This one really wasn't that bad. It's just old. It really wasn't going to leak anytime soon, but I just had it on way too long, and it's like full of poop. I didn't really dump it because I knew I was about to change it. And I don't have to hold my stoma at all. I just don't want any poop to get on me. And I have like small little, like, you know, the puppy pads? I have them to like tuck, and I need to start using them again, especially when I'm on live. But I have them to like tuck into my pants in case my stoma decides to get active. People that are asking what is a stoma, I will go ahead and answer this. A stoma is a little piece of your small intestine pulled through your abdominal wall and kind of folded back on itself. So it's your intestines on the outside. Why do I have it? And this is the last question that I'm probably really just gonna willy-nilly ask because I've already explained this. So I don't mind explaining it again because we just got a lot of new people in here. I have Crohn's disease. It's an autoimmune disease. It's a type of inflammatory bowel disease, which means chronic inflammation impacts your GI tract. You can have other symptoms too called extraintestinal manifestations, but they're more just like manifestations of chronic inflammation in your body and it just impacting other systems because your body is like interconnected. For me, at the time of my diagnosis, which was May of 2020, I tried a lot of medications for basically 2 years. None of them worked. All the ones, most of them on the market, they didn't work. We can get into classifications of drugs if people have questions about that, but I tried all the major staple ones in each classification, and they didn't work for me. So in January of 2022, I started getting surgeries. I've had 6 surgeries, but to kind of summarize my body state right now, I no longer have my colon. I don't have a rectum. My butthole, I no longer have a butthole. And then I have my stoma, which is what this little pink piece is called. And it's a little piece of my small intestine pulled through my abdominal wall and folded back on itself. This has to be surgically placed. Crohn's disease. Close. For people that were on my last live, my stoma is not as swollen. No, it's not diabetes. Again, I'll explain this too. Nobody has control over the way poop moves through their small intestine. So for me, poop just after I eat, it goes through my stomach. It does like the normal things, and then it goes through my small intestine. But instead of going to my colon, because I don't have a colon, it just comes straight out. Right now, for people that are coming in, I am in super chat only mode because I don't like the way my like ratio looks to my viewership. The best thing you can do to get out of this mode is to like the live, share the live, sub to my channel, things like that. But right now, the only way to guarantee your question gets answered is if you super chat your question. And I see some really great questions, but I don't like the way that ratio is. So if people are coming in and you really want me to answer your question, but you can't super chat it, you better tell them to like the stream. Thank you, somebody who answered that question. Oh, that's really sweet for you helping your friend. I love that. It's a stoma, guys. It's a little piece of my small intestine pulled through my abdominal wall. So pulled through my abdomen. No, it doesn't hurt. Yep, like a Barbie. It's literally called a Barbie butt. That's like a colloquial term, which is like a common term for the surgery. It's called a Barbie butt surgery. Literally in my Instagram bio, it says Barbie butt. You don't know when it's coming. Again, if you really want your question answered, you gotta super chat it. Because I still don't like the way my ratio looks. I have almost 400 of you guys in here and not even 200 likes. That's crazy. Very improper. No, I wasn't born with my stoma, and I wasn't born with Crohn's disease either. All right, now we're just gonna let that air out, y'all. How do you super chat? Can somebody explain that process? I don't really know how to do it from just like an outsider because I don't see the same interface that you guys see. Oh, cool, Ashton. What do you think you'll go into as a med student? Somebody said to super chat, you have to click on the money sign when you go into comments and then pick the amount of money. Thank you so much for that. Can you sing a chaperone song? I can, but I'm not going to. I saw Chaperone live twice. A stoma is on my stomach. I am okay. No, it doesn't hurt. Thank you. I appreciate it. I try to be. As you guys come in, make sure you are liking the live. Make sure you are liking the live. Make sure you're liking the live. That is the best way you can get out of super chat only mode. Because I am seeing some good questions, but I'm only going to answer the things I feel like I've already kind of answered. Because I don't like the way my like to viewership ratio looks. Somebody's commenting on my videos right now. That's cute. No, it doesn't hurt, y'all. It's poop. Thank you. If you guys want to see how, my hair is not how it used to look, but in my most recent video, my maintenance vlog, I showed my hair and like getting my hair done and everything, which is really cool. There is no cause or cure right now for Crohn's disease, only remission and flares. And then remission has different categories. Like there's an endoscopic, I believe that's the word for it, remission. There is surgical remission. There is clinical remission. And I think there's like one more, but I forget. It's a stoma. I've had my ostomy back. I got my first ostomy in January of 2022, and I've had like 3 ostomies, including this one, since. Oop, I'm pooping, y'all. I heard it that time. I refuse to get this on my pants tonight. Do I pee normal? Yeah. I hope your cousin is doing well, Shannon. Somebody is asking, is my condition treatable? I'm just going to say yes. And I'm going to tell you that I have videos about my treatment up on my page. Can you see it closer? This is kind of as close as I can get because I have my phone on a tripod. Again, I show my stoma, especially in my back change video, I believe. And in the most recent video I did, in like my maintenance vlog, you can see my stoma a lot closer. Again, if you guys have questions and they're burning and you really want me to answer them, because if anybody has joined my live before, you know, typically I answer a lot of questions, but I give as much as I get. And if I don't like the way my like ratio looks to the amount of viewers in here, I go in super chat only mode, which basically means you guys can still talk, converse, ask questions in the chat, but the only way to guarantee that I answer a question is a super chat. If you guys can't super chat, let me know. Like if you guys literally don't have the ability to, because that means I set up something wrong. But yeah, no RP normally, y'all. They're not painful at all. The surgery is painful. Obviously, surgery is painful. But no, this isn't painful. Go Rose. People need to stop thinking that they need to put every personal thing about their life on the internet. Personally, it'll be different if I was on the internet popping cooch. But you're a man, so I'm assuming that you probably like watching that sort of thing online. The reason why I share my stoma, my ostomy, and all of that is because ostomy, inflammatory bowel disease, the actual diagnosis of inflammatory bowel disease is on the rise. We have the most diagnoses happening in the history of this disease happening right now, and the prime ages are ages where people are generally very social, going to college, starting families, doing that sort of thing. And there's 2 primary types of inflammatory bowel disease. There's Crohn's disease and there's ulcerative colitis. People with Crohn's disease will more than have a very higher chance of needing at least one type of surgery in their lives. And for a lot of people, it's a temporary ostomy. You take out different sections of the bowel, you have blockages, and you have to give that section of your intestine time to heal. So a lot of people with Crohn's disease end up with an ostomy at some point in their lives. Because of current stigmas on pooping and having ostomy bags, and ostomy bags typically being associated with something that stinks and is nasty. There's people that I know, grown women older than me, who haven't told family members that they have an ostomy, haven't told close friends that they have an ostomy, don't have accommodations at work, school, etc., because they don't want the world to know that they have ostomy. That they choose to live life again very alone, very isolated, miserable, because of certain societal stigmas around ostomy. So that is why I do what I do, because my ostomy saved my life. If I didn't have an ostomy, I would not be on this earth, or I would be unable to live life independently of the hospital. So that's why I get on here one night a week. I try to go live one night a week. And I talk about ostomies, and I answer questions, and I try to keep it a mutually beneficial environment. And I block weirdos like you because, again, I have no issue with people doing what they want to do on the internet, honestly, as long as it's not harmful to other people or to vulnerable people. But the fact that again, if you didn't like what you were seeing, you could have just scrolled, but instead you decided to comment. Therefore, I'm going to give you the reaction that you want. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it filled your soul with so much light, because I finally acknowledged you and you got all the attention that you didn't get as a child. You guys got my response for the night. Okay. Yeah, I'm pooing again, but I don't feel like it's going to like fully get on me, so we're good. Thank you, Lynn. I appreciate you. It's only about an inch of my intestines. And I ate a lot of like raw food, and generally like it makes my tummy upset. But it also thickens my stool. So I'm not gonna like hold that up. But as you can see, this stool is a lot thicker than it usually is, and it's because I had like strawberries and a salad and things that are more fibrous. But all of that salad is coming out. And it's not really digested either. If you guys could like really see it. Um who thought I was responding to somebody saying that how I looked? Babes, I was not talking about you. Sorry. No, it's my stoma. And it probably looks red on the camera, but it's like pink. You don't have to wear gloves. You really only have to be super sterile like the day of surgery, to be honest. And you really don't even have to be super sterile then, because your wounds are closed. But they're typically just a little bit more precautious in the hospital because there's so many germs. I don't answer your question. I don't understand your question. Do I need any type of surgery? Hold up. I want to read this question. I have a question. I heard a stoma is where you used to be. Yep, a stoma is where I poop, not pee. Yep, I have to use an ostomy bag. Right now I'm letting go. A lot of people, again, sometimes I forget that I have new people on here. I let the skin around my ostomy air out when I go live, because any other time my bag changes are super quick, and I don't do bagless showers. A lot of people do, but the bags that I use, they are water resistant, so you can shower, swim, dance in the rain, etc. No, I don't feel it. 22. No. Well, I can't really say because if my skin around my stoma is irritated, then possibly using an alcohol wipe will burn it. But the wipes that you order from your supply company, they aren't alcohol wipes. So they're super gentle. No, I'm not vegetarian. But what happened if I didn't have it? So in a hypothetical world where I didn't get surgeries, didn't get my colon removed, one, I will probably still have a PICC line. For people that don't know what a PICC line is, I literally still have a scar from mine. You have a long kind of, a long IV, basically. There's better words for this, but a long IV that goes up your arm and kind of into, I believe it's a vein that kind of connects to your heart, one of your heart arteries, something like that. Anyway, it's connected from basically here to a vein that comes out, and they give you TPN, which is something nutrition. I know the words, but I forget the words because I'm getting tired. I've been out here for almost 40 minutes. And they give you that, and they give you lipids, and they basically kind of, your nutrition is completely liquid. Literally my dietitian, she was like, so how big do you want to be? How big do you want to be? And that basically would be my life, because nothing was clearing up. And I would probably be very, very steroid dependent as well. Because that was the only thing that was keeping me relatively stable until it didn't. So I'll be in and out of the hospital a lot, and I would not be eating anything orally. I'll be on complete bowel rest. Or I would not be on the earth anymore at all. Those were the only two options for me. No, guys, people are asking this question a lot. And I keep saying this, but I think they need to make anatomy a permanent class in high school. Or they need to bring more anatomy back into early science. I'll answer this question. But before I do that, I still don't like the way my like ratio looks, y'all. We are so close. Honestly, we have 303 people in here right now. If we get to 300 likes, I'll start answering a little bit more questions that aren't super chatted. Again, if you want your question to be answered, 100% answered, we're in super chat only mode right now. That's why I'm skipping over a lot of the questions that I see. So if you super chat your question, I will answer it. I'm not sure if people that have super chatted me questions before are in here, but if you are, let them know. I will answer your question if it's super chatted to me. But yeah, keep liking the live. Oh, we hit 300. Y'all are so nice. Now, I'll answer questions. I'll answer a little bit more. But if the viewership goes up and my ratio gets off again, you guys already know the deal. I can't push this back in. Y'all, my period is normal. Crohn's disease primarily manifests in your GI tract, not your urinary tract. So there are people that have urostomies, which is pee pouches. I have a poop pouch. Okay, so people that are asking, oh, thank you, Jeremiah, you have to super chat it again. You have to ask your question in the super chat. Or if you literally just send your question, I'll try to be on the lookout for it if you don't want to send another super chat. I'm going to answer. Okay, so we're at 400. I'll answer 5 questions, not including this one. So ask your question, and I will scroll through because I kind of scroll back to get to this question because I really want to answer it. I'll answer 5 before y'all need to get my likes up again. So I was just asking if you were like, what clothes do you wear? I don't know if you have a job or if you're in college, what clothes do you wear in public? I wear whatever I want. I can't say I wear the same clothes you wear because I don't know what you wear, but I wear normal clothes. So when placing my ostomy, my surgeon asked me actually where did I want my ostomy placed. And I believe I always forget. I would need to literally ask my ostomy nurse when I go back to her. But you can have a low ostomy or you can have a high ostomy. And I had a lot of flexibility because I don't have any obvious rolls in my abdomen. So with it was kind of like a fashion tip. If you really love high-waisted clothes, then sometimes a low ostomy is better because you don't have to worry about that constant pulling on where your seam is. And I love a high waist. And even like these shorts right here are kind of where a low-rise pants would sit, and you can see I would just put it under my stoma, or you can literally just have the pants sitting on your stoma and it doesn't hurt anything. So I wear whatever I want. Obviously, if I'm going somewhere for a very long time and I won't have access to a bathroom, I'm going to try to wear things that are a little bit more stretchy. But yeah, I wear whatever I want. Okay, so now I'm going to scroll and look at questions and answer them. I won't answer the ones that I answer a lot. I don't want to cheat. So let's do this. Your period doesn't come out of your urethra? Correct. I just want to explain this. So but it still has to do with having a urostomy. You could have other issues in your urinary tract and just like that area in general. So I don't want to say, oh, they don't have issues with their periods too, because I don't know. That's not my disease. But yeah, for me, my ostomy. Thank you so much for the super chats. I am so appreciative. Thank you so much. I don't want to say like they don't have issues because that's, I don't want to speak on somebody else's condition when I don't know. I just know for me, I don't have anything that is directly linked to Crohn's disease that impacts my periods. There's like side effects. Obviously, if you're sick and you're in pain, you have other things going on, then your periods could be worse. But there's no like direct correlation where doctors say like, hey, if you have Crohn's disease, this will happen to your period, if that makes sense. No, I'm not gonna get my bowel back in or like a reversal because mine is permanent. I no longer have a butthole. My butthole is sewn up. A stoma it positively impacted my health. I was so much sicker, like literally, yeah, I was just so much sicker before my stoma. No, I wasn't born with my stoma. What is a super chat? So somebody said if you go to like put a comment, but you click the money sign and you click the amount, then your comment will send with the super chat. No, it cannot be cured. I don't have a colostomy, I have an ileostomy. So an ileostomy is made with your small intestine, a colostomy is made with your colon, and it's typically on the other side. I got my first one in January of 2022, and I've had 3 since. I can jump and I can dance. Nothing happens. I'm fine.
Did you answer the super chat question?
I don't know. What was the super chat question?
No idea.
My ostomy is for life. Yes, I can get pregnant. Yes, I can have children. There's a lot of creators that are pregnant with children. I don't want children. I do not want to get pregnant. And that's that. All right, hold up. So when you get the surgery, is it a big scar? And is it passing gas and burping? And is passing gas and burping horrible for loved ones? Okay, so burping, that's normal. Like that works normally. I saw it. I have it already. Burping works normally. Passing gas just happens in my bag, and generally no, because I don't burp my bag a lot, to be honest. I just go and empty it in the toilet, so typically it really doesn't bother anybody. Surgery, yes. So there's 2 different types of surgeries you can have. You can have an open surgery, which is what this scar is right here. This scar, it went around. My surgeon saved my belly button. Or you can have a laparoscopic surgery, which is where they'll stick like gas and a tiny little camera inside of you and do it that way. And that's where these scars right here are from. I had an emergency surgery, so I had to get an open surgery. But my first two surgeries were laparoscopic. So those scars, no, are not really the biggest. I got these, and then I also have like a C-section scar, which is where they kind of pull everything out of you. So those weren't that bad, honestly. My scars didn't get really bad until my open surgery. Thank you so much. All right, I'm scrolling back down to the bottom. Let's see. Oh, hi. Thank you so much. You're back. Food is not going to cure Crohn's disease. Thank you, Susan. When I lay on my stomach, no, it doesn't hurt, but I don't do it because if you have a lot of air or a lot of liquid into a bag and you put a lot of pressure on it, it can pop. So, yeah. Do I have to carry a poop bag wherever I go? So it's connected to me. It's stuck to me. So I guess, yes, I do carry it everywhere I go. Okay, so for people that's been coming to my lives a lot, you guys will know one of my first lives, I did get my little brother to come in here and I was like, do you smell poop in the air? And he was like, no, I actually don't smell poop in the air. So my theory is that the poop really doesn't stink until the gases and everything are kind of doing its thing in this bag. When I'm changing it like this, unless I ate something really, really like fatty or like seafood or something kind of that already has a really strong smell before you eat it, generally I don't smell poop, a lot of poop right here. We're on. Were you on 24/7 antibiotics? And what helps support you? Do you mean like what helps support me as far as like from a medication standpoint or like support system standpoint? But I will answer the antibiotics. So the only time I've ever really been on antibiotics, one was when I had C. diff. Of course, that's what is it? It's an infection, right? I think. So you have to get antibiotics for that. And then I tried something in the hospital called triple antibiotic therapy. That didn't work. So that they only kept me on that for like 2 days because I was just so sick and it wasn't helping. So no, and then also I had antibiotics when I had pouchitis because I did try to go through a J pouch process, which is essentially like a poop pouch. It's like a fake colon made out of your small intestine, not your colon because that's gone. So a fake colon, and that's like sitting inside of you, and it's connected to your butt. And that didn't work for me. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm burping. So when I started getting pouchitis or like inflammation of that pouch, they also tried me on antibiotics, but those didn't work. So, yeah, those are only the 3 times that I can think of that I was for sure on antibiotics. So no, 24/7 antibiotics is not really going to help Crohn's disease. Support system, yeah, so generally, if I'm being so honest with you, at the peak of me being sick, I only had the family like that's like in my house and like whatever form of media I was like hyper obsessed with. So usually it was like some music or like a book. Every now and then it was a TV show. But that's also why I have a media club right now called Chronically the Illest Media Club. Every month we pick a book and we read it together. We watch shows together. movie stuff, and I send out newsletters every single month and like dump everything that I've been watching, listening to, reading, etc. But yeah, and we're active on Instagram like the most. It's called Chronically the Illest HQ on Instagram. I think it's linked in the description of this live. But yeah, primarily like literally when I was in the hospital, because in December of 2021 I spent an entire month in the hospital, spent Christmas in the hospital. My mom used to like go back and forth between spending like nights or like early mornings with me and like getting my siblings ready for school, and like being there with them. So it was primarily just like my mom did like the bulk of the heavy lifting. She went to the doctor's appointments, she took me to the hospital, she knew everything. Um, so oh, thank you. Jeremy, you are the MVP of this live. I think I literally have to start doing that, giving MVPs. Last live, it was definitely, I think it's like Rebel Girl, if she's still here. My mod just dropped the link to my media club, but you guys should totally follow the page and interact. But Jeremy is definitely the MVP of this live because he has been amazing. But I don't think you left a question in that one if you meant to, Jeremy. How long does it take for my back to fill up? It depends on what I eat and how much I eat. So there's not really an answer. I mean, a set answer to that. Did I eat processed? I ate everything. My diet was completely normal before my diagnosis. So do I take meds to help manage my Crohn's symptoms? Yes, I do. Right now I'm on like a little cocktail. I'm on Remicade, which I think helps a little bit more now that I don't have my colon. It definitely helps a lot of my joint stuff sometimes. I'm on methotrexate for my joints. And I think that's pretty much it. Like I take heartburn stuff and other things like that, but like set for Crohn's is that stuff. Does it hurt if I touch it? No, I don't feel anything. It doesn't have any nerve endings. Does it impact my love life? I would say yeah, it does. I don't really have much of a love life. I was never like, in high school, I was really set on like academic, school, college. I really wasn't worried about boys, to be honest. I mean, I was a teenage girl, so obviously I had crushes and things like that. And I wrote about them because I published my first poetry book my senior year of high school. But no, I didn't really date. I'm sorry, I saw Miguel's chat, and that is very true. Trust me, that's like my inner dialogue sometimes. But yeah, it does. I would say it does. It's very nerve-wracking. A lot of people don't understand, and people are very quick to judge, especially guys my age. So it's something that I haven't even started doing, honestly. This is like this is my first full year so far. We're knocking on wood because I've been having like little scares. This is my first full year since my diagnosis that I haven't had to go to the hospital. So I'm more so just focused on my life and like getting my life back versus giving that time to somebody else. No, I didn't get SHOT. I have Crohn's disease. Yep, my mom just did my shameless plug. I'm a full-time student, content creator, writer, author. Yep, I'm in college, full-time. Oh, your son is doing Remicade. That's great. I get Remicade now about every 5 weeks. It's a stoma. I don't know a lot about soccer. I'm just now learning about basketball. I've already did my one like little crash out sesh for tonight, so I'm just gonna ignore that comment. I go to New York University. It comes with it, you know. I used to be at the peak of getting really sick, I kind of used to like have a lot of anger too. Like, why was I sick? Why me? What did I do to deserve this? Etc. And I will be lying if I tell you I didn't have those moments like recently. Like, I think a chronic illness, like the healing and like the emotional kind of trauma your body goes through, especially when you've been like severely ill, I don't think you ever fully recover. You kind of just have your highs and your lows. But there's a lot of really cool opportunities that I have been able to get directly tied to Crohn's disease and going through what I've been through. So, of course, I don't really like wish that I was sick or anything like that, but I am very thankful for a lot of the people that I've met, the amount of empathy that I have, sometimes too much empathy. Sometimes I wish I've told my therapist this. Sometimes like I wish I was stupid. If I was stupid and I didn't have empathy and I didn't understand anything, I think I would live in bliss because nothing would matter to me because I wouldn't care because I'd be dumb. But I'm not. So thank you, Piper. Thank you, Biggie Cheese. Yeah, I agree, Gerard. Yeah, I'm able to do physical activities. I am not a physically fit person though, like active. I've never been like personally I hate the summertime because it's so hot and everything requires so much physical movement. That is great. I love that. I don't know how to pronounce your name, so I don't want to butcher it, but Sean J. Sean Jai. My favorite shoes, Converse. Converse, Crocs. Literally. I literally I have over I think I have over 12 pairs of Crocs. I want to say over 15, but that could be pushing it. I have a lot of Crocs. And I buy like the like collab Crocs. And then I forget your other question. I'm at the other part of that question. Favorite song? I don't have one. I make a lot of playlists on Spotify. Actually, on Chronically the Illest, my media club I was just telling you guys about, I posted like a song wrap up, and it was like all the songs that I was listening to last week. I listen to a lot of new music. No, Gerard. I think it's done the opposite. I can be quite cynical. That was an adhesive remover wipe too, if anybody is wondering what wipe I use. It depends. I don't have on any shoes. Nice belly button. Okay, fun fact about belly buttons. A lot of times when you've been through the surgeries that I've been through, you no longer have a belly button. But my surgeon, she was able to keep my belly button. It's just a little bit off-centered. A stoma. That's what's on my belly. It's a little piece of my small intestine pulled through my abdominal wall. This is a skin barrier wipe. This just preps the skin for the stoma. If you're still watching, I appreciate it. If you haven't liked the live, go ahead and like. I have Crohn's disease. You get to a certain point where you get tired of answering the same questions. I will tell you guys a lot of the frequently asked questions, they are in the description of this live. No, it doesn't hurt. Okay, how long does it take for your bag to fill up? It depends on what I eat and how much I eat. And if I ate anything before I ate that. Does that make sense? But in general, it takes anywhere between 2, sometimes it's less than 2. They tell you 2 clinically, but I have the bag. And I know sometimes if I'm starving and I eat something, before I'm done with my meal, something's coming out. So yeah, you can have a lot. There's a lot of different reasons you can have ostomy. A lot of times temporary ostomies are due to like different, like if you have any kind of like cancers of this area, you can have a temporary ostomy or you can have a permanent one. Bodily trauma, so anything that causes trauma to your abdomen, you could have an ostomy. And then Crohn's disease, inflammatory bowel disease in general. Was it hard to fix it when you were a little kid? So I got my ostomy when I was what, 18, 19? So I wasn't a kid with one. Mine is permanent. My colon is gone, my rectum is gone, and I no longer have a butthole. It's smooth. Okay, my skin is dry. In general, if you're using those wipes, you want your skin to dry before you put on the bag. It just helps it stick more. On particular days where I feel like, honestly, I feel like I need to do this more in the wintertime than the summertime because stuff is just so hot. I have a mini dryer that I will use to kind of warm the adhesive up, and that just helps it stick more. Or you can just get into the shower after your bag is on if you feel like it's on there really nicely. If you get in the shower and you get out, your bag will be more stuck to you. Thank you. Yep, my bag is forever. Teresa, I hope you're doing well. And they can't call me a butthole. They can't say that they heard me fart really because my farts sound a little bit different. You really can't even say you smelled it because you generally don't smell it. Now, if your bag is old, then you will smell because the adhesive is loosening up, which means some of the air could be getting out of it. It's like a balloon. But generally you can't say you smelled it because it really doesn't even smell the same. Poop with a colon and poop without a colon smells completely different. I fart into my bag. Yeah, I can fart. I fart into my bag. Yep, because I don't have one. Just something that I don't miss. It's like, again, we're talking about poop. Like literally, one of my closest friends, she also has inflammatory bowel disease. She doesn't have a stoma though, but like I'm pretty cool with talking about poop. One thing I don't miss is cleaning up after a poop, like after you go on the toilet. Like that is the most irritating process, especially if it's been a little, so I don't miss it. It's a bummer. Thank you, I appreciate it. No, it doesn't hurt. I hope you guys are doing well, my fellow Crohn inflammatory bowel disease folks. We're about to put a bag on now. What foods infected the most? So every day, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't really show you guys that before I stick that on. The hole is right there. You literally just put it in. Every day is different with my ostomy, honestly. Before, I didn't really have quote unquote trigger foods like everybody else. There were certain things that would make it worse, but I was so inflamed and my Crohn's disease was so severe that anything I ate. But typically, anything that's really high in fiber, anything that's way too sugary, are general things that I kind of stay away from. If you guys are still watching, make sure you're subscribed because I try to go live every week, at least once a week. So because right now I have a job and then my internship, so I'm kind of busy and I don't have like a lot of time. Usually I'm kind of tired, honestly. One thing that still hasn't completely gotten better post-surgery is my chronic fatigue. It still kicks my butt to this day, to this very moment, to right now. I wish I was in my bed sleeping. So thank you so much. Do I drink I don't like the way coconut water tastes like. What are some, I kind of explained. So does it hurt or feel uncomfortable? So pre-surgery, are you talking about pre-surgery or post-surgery? Like what caused me pain? because that will change a lot. Pisces, yes, but I don't want any. Yep, I tried Humira, it didn't work. Post-surgery, I just feel like queasy a lot of times. If something is not digesting properly, sometimes I'll cramp up. And I've gotten sharp pains before, just like in my intestines. So, yep, I can wear shirts and hoodie that covers it up. I've had 6 or 7 surgeries. I get mixed up when I'm tired. I don't really cover my bag up a whole lot, if I'm being honest. Like, I tuck it in my pants sometimes. If I have a long shirt on, see, look, it got wet. If I have a long shirt on, then that'll cover it, but I'm not going out of my way to keep my bag covered. Yeah, I have my bag for the rest of my life. Nope, hot Cheetos didn't cause this. No, they didn't attribute this to nutrition and lifestyle. I can eat regularly. It's honestly, post Crohn's disease, I eat a lot of small meals versus really big meals. I'll give you guys that. No, the bag isn't really annoying. It's kind of a part of my life. It's like, I don't know. No, it's not annoying. Anyways, I'm going to clean up as I'm answering these last couple of questions. There is no cause. There's still active research being done as to what the cause is, but I can tell you scientists are coming to the hypothesis that is going to be that is going to be a collection. Okay, I'll answer your question. But it's going to be a collection of things. That causes it. So like environmental things, because there's people that come out of the womb with this. So people can't say that it's a lifestyle and what you eat when there's little infants and people that eat really great that come out. So there's no common denominator right now. Can I wear swimsuits? Yes. Exactly. It's not considered a Crohn's disease, inflammatory bowel disease in general. It's not a rare disease. In my state alone, there's over 80,000 people with Crohn's disease. Sometimes, yeah, I feel insecure. Okay. So with the spicy foods thing, it's more so if the skin around my stoma is irritated, which is kind of like a diaper rash, honestly. If you have a diaper rash, then different things are gonna make that skin irritated. Make that skin kind of burn. So if I'm having a leak or something and the skin around my stomach is irritated, if I eat something spicy, then that can make my skin burn. But other than that, no. And the same thing is kind of happening to a normal person. It's kind of like that around it. My ostomy, no. How often do I have to change it? I change my ostomy, honestly, like every 4-ish days. The race stats are honestly changing, because if you would have said 20 years ago, they would have told you it was more common in white people. Disease severity, because of socioeconomic factors, insurance, access to money to pay for treatments, access to hospitals that are adequate enough to treat this disease, those things are leading to higher disease severity in Black and brown individuals. But actual race connections right now, that stuff is changing all the time. And I can tell you this because I work heavily with the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. And they're one of the leading organizations that supports research when it comes to Crohn's disease. So, yes, I literally go to health conferences and things and talk about it. In general, Morgan, I would say no, because the alternative is worse. Of course. Of course. Any last minute questions? After I finish wrapping this up, I am going to go eat. I did not plan on being on this long, y'all. I looked up and I was like, what? What time is it? What is the alternative? A life constantly in the hospital, a life probably being unable to eat anything orally, a life of pain, like actual physical pain. How long have I had what for? My ostomy or Crohn's disease? Thank y'all. Right now, no. I'm trying to put this back in this box, but it's not working. And I don't want to break it. My ostomy. I got my first ostomy in January of 2022. And then you just tie these little bad boys up. Oh my goodness, I completely forgot. Before I left, I'm a nerd at heart, and I wanted to show you guys what I was currently reading physically. So I will do that. Before I head off, I want to tell you guys. So this is the book that we're currently reading for my media club. It's called Love Me Tender. It follows a person who kind of came out later in life. She's a lawyer, decides to leave her life. And then her, I think it's Parisian. I want to say she's living in Paris. The legal system is so heavily homophobic that they stop her from seeing her son, and her ex-husband poisons her son against her. It is so like jarring to read something that's just so like blatantly talked about, like blatantly written. It's a really great book. And look at my bookmark. It's a little finger. I got it from Etsy. It's linked in my bio if you guys are interested. But love that book. And then this is the other book I'm reading. It just came out. It's by V.E. Schwab. It's called Bury Your Bones in the Midnight Soil. I'm not sure if it's backwards for you guys, but it's great. Literally, I'm getting through it so fast. And it's like written in like 4 point of views. I don't know. I just want to talk about it because I'm really enjoying the books that I'm reading this month, physically and on my Kindle, honestly. But yeah, that's my little spiel for tonight. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. If you guys have any questions that I didn't get to, go ahead and leave them on my videos. If you guys want to see a different bag change process, a closer bag change process, I do have videos of that up on my channel with also just other stuff, going to treatment with me, talking about my social life, post-surgery and diagnosis. I also have videos actually in the process of like all of my health stuff happening to me. I appreciate it. With all of my health stuff happening to me, if you guys want stuff, because with time, this stuff does get blurry sometimes. So a lot of times, even myself, I go back and watch my videos to stay like fresh in like my treatment stuff. So yeah, I really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun tonight. Typically, I try to wrap it up before I get to an hour, but I was thoroughly entertained. Thank you guys so much for the people that send super chats. I really appreciate it. I'm not interested. Please stop sending that. Babes, I don't have a colon or a rectum. That stuff ain't gonna magically grow back. I'm at the end of my life, so now I'm gonna respond. It's not gonna grow back. It's gone. So, yeah, listen to my mind. What was your biggest takeaway? And yeah, make sure you go and comment that stuff after this live is processed. it takes a little bit sometimes to process and go up, but it will be up. So yeah, I had fun. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you're listening. You're taking care of your body. You're taking care of yourself. Listen to your body, drinking water, and being kind to yourself. You're doing the best that you can, and you're gonna keep going. I've had a lot of fun tonight, and I'm at my wit's end. So we're gonna goodbye. So yeah, I will catch you guys next time. Make sure you guys are subbed up so you know when I'm going live again. I try to go live at least once a week. And I'll probably have a video going up sometime in the next week too, because I've been recording a lot. It just takes a long time to edit it. So yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.